Morning, boys. As you can see, my weed eater is broken. I was out trying to use it, and I pulled the cord, and man, it didn't like that, and it came out a very long way. And even now, you can see in there, it's got some pull left in it, but not much. As I jerked it, hoping it might reset, but it didn't. So we're gonna have to get in here. Well, there we go. As you can see, that is, that's broken. It's reset itself. This plastic piece here is the problem. I think it just holds a full spring too. How annoying. How utterly annoying. These little fellas here, and a tiny piece of plastic right there jumped out as well. Morning, boys. It has been a very long time. I got all these paint cans out here. It's been a very long time since the weed broke. Fortunately, the part finally came in the mail. So we're gonna put it back together. But it's finally here. Ah, yes, looks like the proper part. Indeed. New one, old one. It's just got a different sticker on there, but same part. The main part that we needed fixed is this thing right here. It is definitely fixed. So good, we're actually perfect to go. Also, we have a replacement, one of these fellows. And new screws, okay, good, perfect. There's a plastic piece that runs right here. This fellow basically just sits here and acts as a spacer. So this is an interesting topic to talk about while we fix this. Why does crud break? Why does break? You could say, okay, you were rough with your weed eater. That's why you broke it. But why does everything break? Even the human body falls apart, everybody dies. Animals kill each other just to survive. We kill them too. Why is the world this way? Well, it is reality. We definitely don't need anybody else denying reality. It seems to be a trend amongst people, pretending things aren't the way they are. Everything dies, everything breaks. The question is, why does this happen? You can look at various scientific reasons, and those reasons are true, assuming they're not theories. They need to be proven to be laws. The Bible actually tells us why it happens as well. Some of you could think, oh, maybe God, being good, wouldn't want something like this to happen. And so it would be kind of a proof that God doesn't exist because things break, because people die, because stuff falls apart. In the book of Genesis, God explains that he cursed the earth. And he says he cursed it for Adam's sake. Adam was the first man. So God claims responsibility for cursing the earth. He tells Adam that, Adam, when you work, stuff's gonna fall apart. He says when you grow stuff in the garden, weeds are gonna grow. That's what wants to grow. You guys have ever done any gardening? The vegetables are like, we're trying to grow. And the weeds are like, boom, they just grow even without water. It's insane. God says he cursed the earth. God says he's good, but he's also claiming responsibility for having cursed the earth. Interesting conundrum. He says he cursed it for man's good. And here's the reason why. Whenever we look at all this stuff, whenever we see death, or even something as simple as your weed eater breaking, we're reminded of something. This world is broken. This is not heaven. This is not our eternity. If we try to convince ourselves to be happy with this, that this is all there is, that this is how it should be, we're going to be let down all the time. Because the world does suck. God made it to be good. Man disobeyed God. God cursed the world in order that man might be reminded of how he fell. It's basically like realizing the consequences for your actions. But God cursed the earth for that purpose, so that we would remember. When we remember, what do we do with it? Well, that's the most important choice you have to make. What do you do with that knowledge? You just get mad at God, because that doesn't do anything. Really, what it comes down to is that you need to realize how bad sin is. What it did to the planet, and you yourself. Once you realize how bad it is, then you can get it taken care of. Unfortunately, that's what the Bible is all about. God loved man, and he didn't leave them alone. He made a way to pay for their sin and to be right with God. Anyways, we got this back together. Let's give it a crank. All right, boys. We put all my little earmuffs. See if we can get this thing to work. It feels okay. Oh, it didn't pull back in. What is that? Okay, so it's not this. We still needed a new one of these because it was broken, but that's not the only problem we've gotten here. It looks to me like these little pawl springs. Oh yeah, my crud. There's some loose stuff in the back, but it's these fellows. They're the ones that are problematic. Right, gentlemen. Unfortunately, it is as we feared. This fellow works fine. He's meant to spring back, as you can see. So if I pop him over, he pops back. This fellow does a whole lot of nothing. As his spring is greatly compromised. Alright, we can get rid of him. Just the cover. Never been off. There we are. Ah, spark plug. He will fit in there better. That's our spark plug. That's where the little spark comes between there. Alright, I popped it off real quick and I see the problem. You guys can see it already just by looking at this. You see the issue here? The sides are supposed to be the same. See how this side has something that sticks up, that part of the spring? It's missing over here. Let's see if you can see this. If you look really closely, you can kind of see what appears to be a break in the metal. So yeah, our spring broke. Since he broke, this little flipper does not flip anymore. See, you can see on this guy if you look close. He's got one that pokes out there and one that pokes out there. So that this leans against here. You bring up tension as you go this way, pushes it back down. Now still look at this fellow. I don't like the strength of him, so if I can get me a replacement spring, I'm gonna do both of them. I'm just gonna say it right now, I deserve a reward for the most cluttered workspaces ever. Being extra careful this time, better. Oh, man, I didn't see that coming. It went back and went pretty deep up in there. What the crud? Yeah, we might have to accept defeat here. These things go different directions. All right, the mystery just gets worse and worse. So when this thing first broke, this small piece fell out. I had no idea what it was. But now that we've taken off the pawl spring flipper, called a pawl dog, dun, 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 dun. Exactly, he's the same thing. Now this one has his, which means even the fellow we thought that was working well, I think he might have actually meant to be sat up inside there, not flip that far, but now he goes all the way down. We gotta order new ones of these, and definitely new pawl spring. Here's a lesson for you boys. Never throw away your manual. I can't find mine for some reason. This is what we're looking for. This little piece part right here. Number 27, that's Mr. Paul. As you see, that's the part that we just replaced. That's the outer casing we took off. There's Paul. Oh, you suck, Paul. Anyways, our Paul is broken, so we come down here, number 27. Boop, and that's the number we need. Now we can find the part and spend all our money on it. Alright boys, time has passed since we last spoke and a new package has arrived. Let's open this boy real quick. Ah, there we are. That is what we need. Here is the new man. So these pull springs work properly, as they should. We're gonna need to put him in, but first we've got to remove this fellow. So here's the old fellow. This is the reason we had to get a new one. This guy has nothing to hold his foot in there. You can see where it broke off. He won't stay. These guys right here. You can clearly see the little foot stubs to keep them from going too far. Vice grip's so cool because by adjusting this knob, you can change the vice. You engage the vice, chink, and then it really locks it in heavy duty. There we are. Okay, now we can finally install this part, which you guys have already seen. I'm gonna be a little more gentle with how I use the weed eater. I'll explain that once we try to start them up. We don't want to have to go through this again. As you can see on this side, there's a little plastic bracket. That's what this fellow over here is gonna be on this side. And there's dust everywhere. The starter goes like that. Now you can't see, but I'm plugging it all back together. It's done. Now we have to start him up and see if he works this time. Alright, we'll know if it starts by the noise that it makes. So, gonna gently pull on it first. Feels good. Okay, well then, I'll say that was a success. It started up immediately. Just barely pulled it and boom, it was ready to go. So, very much a success. Man, it just feels nice in there. Ready to go, roaring to go, really. The past it kind of felt a little hard, and that maybe because some of the components had broken or were in the process of it. But my goodness, we did it, boys. Anyways, I do hope you enjoyed this Bunker Tales. I do hope you got something out of it. Hope that y'all will try to fix your own stuff, because you can do it. I didn't know how to do any of this before I did it, but here we are. So, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.